Well, hello, lords and ladies. Hopefully, everybody's having a fantastic Friday. So, I do apologize for the technical issues we had yesterday. We had a server game crash, which is not unusual. Um, and then I had issues with Twitch, and it was just a problem. So I managed to get back on and grab my gear and grab my Argentatuses. So we got all three of them back. Baryonyx is back. Our gear that's broken as crap is back, and it's broken. As you can see. So we're gonna look at getting some of this stuff fixed. We're gonna need to get. I think it's almost time to start looking at maybe getting some of the Ascended gear. We've got a good amount of pelts. Yeah, we got a good amount of pelts. So we might be able to get some Ascended for gear and make that. Luckily, we're okay on gear right now. We're not having to worry about freezing to death up here, so so that's all to the good. So we'll start looking at that. So I was thinking about what we need to do for that dungeon, and I think what we're gonna do is go on and get a bunch of dire wolves. Now, I know the last time we brought dire wolves in there, it didn't go so well. I'm gonna get some drops too while we're chit chatting. See that yellow drop. Is that yellow drop still there? Here? Oh, it's behind the car. So I know the last time I brought in a dire wolf, it didn't end so well. And that was twofold. One, it didn't have it wasn't pack boosted, which gives them a big boost, and they weren't mate boosted. Again, which gives them a big boost. So we're gonna get a good small army. Maybe, I don't know, a bunch of them. But again, things in that dungeon are really, really strong, right? You're talking high level dinosaurs, right? So I don't want to use the dire wolves as a form of combat, right? The combat we were doing was fine. What I'm going to use the dire wolves for is twofold. First thing they're going to do is be a mule, basically. Carrying ammo, carrying the supplies we need for us to successfully complete that dungeon, right? And that ties in with the new strategy that I'm thinking I'm going to employ for that dungeon. That being, we're gonna overhaul that dungeon with, since we can build in it. Since we can build in there, we're gonna set that dungeon up that we never have to worry about that dungeon ever again. That's using metal spikes. That's using stone walls, foundations, stone fence posts, all that stuff. And we're basically going to clear ourselves a path. And we're going to use stone pillars and stuff like that to go over things that are dangerous. And we're going to block off avenues of approach that we don't need to go down. So it's going to limit what we can get from the dungeon, right? Because we're not going to be able to get the loot chests and stuff like that. But I'm okay with that. We're getting plenty of good drops from the beacons and supply crates that I don't feel the need to make sure we get those. And if what we'll do is, as we're building this thing, we'll put in little areas that we can still access those chests if we wanted to, right? So we'll put in like doors and stuff so that we can still access them if we're so inclined to do so. So that's step one, is going to be building those things, the direwolf pack out to be a kind of a mule to carry the stone foundations, ammunition, because the first time through, obviously, we're going to have some issues with getting things set up, right? There's going to be a lot in there. So, and weights on direwolves are not the greatest. We're also going to build a little entrance at the entrance of the cave, so we can park our Argentavises and park our direwolves when we're not using them, so that we can shuttle them back and forth in safety. So that's step one. Step two is we're going to use the direwolves to pull out those hidden guys. And whether you let the direwolves just kill them, and hopefully the direwolves can, and I think if we get a good enough pack. Good morning, Jeremy. Oh, I do like Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, I'm just going over my strategy for the snow cave right now, and what we're going to be doing to complete that SOD. So yeah, so like I was saying, so that's step one. Getting the pack with enough weight and everything to be able to think that. So yeah, so that's step one, is getting the direwolves up to a point where they can haul all our building materials and ammunition and all that good stuff that we're gonna do. And then two, like I said, is we're gonna use those direwolves not to kill, so we're gonna use the same strategy we were using beforehand, where we're gonna set up metal spikes, and then we're gonna basically let the mobs kill themselves with metal spikes. The difference this time around is, like I said, for those guys underground, we're gonna let the direwolves at least pull them out of their underground, and that way, in case something happens, we can still fall back and kill them at range. So, and if I have like 8 or 9 good wolves, then I think they should be good enough to pull out the those underground guys. And then that'll save us, and that way also is if we do get stunned or anything, we do run into issues there, that we'll be okay, because the direwolves will just pick up the slack. That's a ring to something. We're gonna head there after we get this purple drop, because it's on the way. So yeah, so the second part would be to use the direwolves in that capacity. And that should keep us safe enough to make it through that dungeon and get it set up for a long-term success. So that's the game plan. Now, as of currently, we don't have a high-level female. We have 2 males that are pretty high level, but we don't have a high-level female. So we're going to need to scour and find a high-level female, which shouldn't be that hard to find direwolf packs up here. Ooh, I sent it up. That was a good little find right there. Yeah, that's the ring one right there. So that's the game plan for the snow. Okay. So we're just not ready to tackle it, which is fine. Tried to rush it, thinking that we were safe, and I was wrong. Ugh, those are garbage. So again, we're gonna try to find a nice high-level female. We're gonna breed up basically an army of direwolves for that. So, if this, I want to do some running around with the squid this morning. I know I need there's 3 tames I need to still grab that are still kind of important to the overall. That's still kind of needed for the overall success that of our journey, and that would be an anglerfish, which we've seen them before. They're not, although the anglerfish. I don't think they're a passive. I think they're still a knockout tame. I think they're still a knockout tame. I don't think they're passive or anything like that. No, they're a knockout tame. So we're gonna go get an anglerfish because anglerfish get a bonus to silica pearls. Imagine that. We still need to find one more Therizina high level, although I don't have enough Rex eggs to make the kibble I need. So we're going to hold off on finding those until we have the kibble. Like I said, we need 3 kibble to tame a high level one. And if not, the taming process is... Trying to do it with Majo berries is not fun. We're also going to look at start building our farm up because there is a food consumable which I didn't know about for herbivores only. I don't know if they have one for carnivores, but herbivores specifically have a food source that you can make using all the I just came from there. Go back to the other one. That basically they can eat when we're doing boss fights. I don't know if it actually gives them food, but it will give them health. So we can stack a bunch of those up on our Therizinors, because Therizinors are herbivores. They're like T-Rex herbivores, basically. And when we're doing the mission for the dragon, on top of having the Doidons, we'll have extra healing. Which I don't know if will come into play a lot when we're doing Gamma. We might not need it for Gamma. We're definitely going to need it for Beta and above. Although I have no idea. So yeah. So if our, like I said, I want to do some moving around on a squid today. I want to try to get enough stuff for the tech replicator. We have the metal for it. We just don't have the black pearls. And again, whilst we're down there, I want to look for an anglerfish that we can yeah, it looks like raw meat is gonna be just fine for me. I want to look for well, you'd think that fish meat would be better than regular meat, but it's like a lot worse. Fish meat's a lot worse for taming fish than regular meat. Go figure. Now it does only need regular kibble. What is regular kibble? Needs... Oh, I think we have an ankylosaur egg. We might actually have enough for the kibble, for the regular kibble. If that's the case, that's even... Ooh, Ascended Fur Cap. See? Mastercrafted Ankylo saddle. Okay, I'm glad we're coming on the grounds. Because we needed to replenish our Ascended stuff. And like I said, that's why I'm not so worried about getting the supply drops in the dungeons. That's why I don't necessarily mind blocking the dungeons off and really getting them set up for success. Because I know that these drops seem to be good enough to keep us, you know, well stocked with good equipment. The only thing I wish we would see that we haven't seen yet is an Ascended pump action shotgun. Because I don't like I don't mind the double barrel shotgun, but I much prefer to have pump action. Obviously, because it has more shots. Sometimes that's all you need is just, you know, a couple more rounds down range to win. So, we might look at the assault rifle. and see if that might give us an advantage. Problem is, again, it's bullets. You know, getting the correct amount of bullets and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, that's what we're working with. We're just gonna basically wait for daytime before we take the squid out. So I figured this would be a good time to roam around and grab different loots, crates. Or technically, I always call them beacons, but their technical term is supply crates. So I should start using the correct term, but I'll forget all the time. So it's just gonna happen. But yeah, if we can get an anglerfish, that should solve a lot of our silica pearl issues. Although silica pearls are still a pain in the buttocks to get. There's a few places. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah. And another ascended crossbow is not bad. But ours is better. If our squid is healed enough, we might go to the western cave first. See if we can get some black pearls out of an alpha mosasaur or something like that. See if we can take that bad boy in there, because we don't have any biotoxins either. And there used to be, there was tons of biotoxins in the ocean out there. It seems they've all disappeared. So, and if we don't get too close to that Sarco. And again, we want to find some dire wolves. So after I get this one, I think we're going to go on a quick kind of like quick little scouting round of for dire wolves real quick, because obviously dire wolves, we've seen them spawn all around here. So I saw something over here. I see wing. Alpha Carno. Hey, kangaroo. Kangaroos are really fun tames. I want one. It's just, oh, that's a wild 55 T-Rex. Only 55 though. Doidon. Another yellow drop, which might actually still be good. Garbage. So yeah, so like I was saying before, actually there's 4 tames we want to help us. 4 gathering tames that I don't have. You know, technically 2 gathering tames and 2 resource producing tames, I guess is the best way to describe that. So we also need a seagull, which obviously we've seen tons of seagulls around here, just not on a good level. So as we're kind of flying around here and doing things, we'll keep an eye out for a high level one. Anything over 100 is going to be good. And they're going to be good for doing organic polymer. So we need an organic polymer. Wait, is he the pack leader? Is he the pack leader? Where'd he go? That 105 was the pack leader. Yeah, no. 105 is not good enough. Especially not if we're going to start looking for use of one in the snow dungeon. That's just, a 105 is just not going to get it done. Now we could try to breed one up that has better stats, but again, breeding, to successfully breed, it takes a little bit of time. And by a little bit, I mean it takes some time. and it's all random. So it's, obviously there's a good chance that you'll get good stats. But like for instance, so what I did this morning, because I got up pretty early this morning. I got up around 5 a.m. So I knew I was gonna need otters, another otter. So I was like, man, I don't want to keep having to go find an otter every time I die. So I ended up finding a male and a female. One leveled up at 140, and the other one at like 111 or something like that. And then we bred a new one. Our new one came out 124. So it kind of came out between the two of them, which means it picked up half of the bad stats. Which happens, you know what I mean? And so, it's not as, technically this otter's not as good as one of the parents that was a higher level. And so that's the dealio with breeding is sometimes you just, a lot of times actually I've found that you're just not going to get the correct stats, you know what I mean? And so it does take a little bit of patience and a little bit of like that. Care about that. So yeah, we're just gonna give a little look-see for a dire wolf, high-level dire wolf female, and then we can start breeding up that army. So we won't go back into the snow cave until we've got that on. Again, I'm gonna keep looking for seagulls. Looks like this time a lot of RGs spawned. So this area can spawn a lot of RGs and a lot of, they're called Pelagris or something like that. And that's what we're looking for, the Pelagris. High level, something like that. Which those actually double over as not only an organic polymer, or a really good organic polymer, because they get a bonus to what they collect in organic polymer, but they also serve as a mobile fishing thing. That's an alpha megalodon. Let's see. It's still really low. Might be worth it. So, but yeah, so again, the 4 tames, since I get off on tangents all the time, and I do apologize. I know I do. So we need one of those guys for organic polymer. We need anglerfish for cementing paste. Oh, right there, is that it? Then we need a dung beetle, and dung beetles basically turn poop into fertilizer better than compost pits. They do it faster, and they'll get passively get oil. The downside with dung beetles are they're only found in caves, which we have a cave that we can go to and get them fairly easily. Actually, we won't take it. We got some. And we need the stone stuff because we're going to be building inside the snow cave. So we need the dung beetle to turn poop into fertilizer and oil. And then we need it starts with a P. They're like a little, they almost look like an anteater. Kind of would be a good way for me to describe them. Well, what they do is they're a poop machine. So you basically feed them stem berries, and every 5 stem berries you feed them, they drop poop. So you pair one of those bad boys up with some dung beetles. So if we can get 4 or 5 dung beetles, which again, dung beetles can't be bred, you can only get them and you have to get them by feeding them poop. And then you have to carry them out. So not only are we going to have to get them, we're going to have to bring them home. But if we can get a good amount of them, then we basically have an unlimited source of fertilizer or and oil. And we're going to need fertilizer because obviously we want to start building kibbles and stuff like that. And you're going to need the top end, the 4 top end vegetables. Think of it there for a second. That can only be grown. They can't be found in the wild. You can find the seeds out in the wild, but you can't find the plant themselves. So we want to start looking at doing that. We're also going to need this guy not to be there because he'll attack us. He's quasi-hostile. I think he's listed as territorial as well. We'll take the wood bench. Go drop all this stuff off. Yeah, so those are the 4 that we need still. Those are our 4 tames that we still don't have, that we want to have. An anglerfish, there's actually right out front of the front door of Snow Cavern is one of the best places if you can get an anglerfish in there. Which I don't know if we can. I think once you take them out of water, even briefly, I don't know how much time you have once you take them out of water. Basically, have to ride the river down, park them, if that is so what we end up doing. Check our little guy right here. I want to get. Nope, I want you. No eggs. That's fine. You know what? You can have that.